attitude like a young O'Shea with an AK.
Okay, don't you tell these motherfuckers that my name is O'Shea.
What up, everyone? It's the Nation of Podcation Daily Podcast. I'm O'Shea. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at @thereal_OBarberbrand and at Nation of Podcation on Instagram and TikTok. Hip-hop superstar Juvenile tells how Jay-Z saved 400 Degreez and helped make it a quadruple platinum album.
Juvenile and Jigga, the remix.
Now, as we all know, Juvenile's 400 Degreez, it is my personal favorite down south hip-hop album of all time. Every song on there is a banger. It's hard-pressed to find a skip song on that album. This was the album that put Cash Money on the map and made them a national success. It also gave us the hit song Back That Ass Up, which also introduced the world to Lil Wayne. Now, the first single that was released off of this album, High, was one of the biggest singles from Juvenile. It had a lot of regional success and became a national success. I remember seeing the video on the box and BET back in the day, and that's what introduced me to Juvenile. I ended up buying the tape and I got hooked on 400 Degreez.
Then you handle your biz, and don't be crying, and it's something you don't give a chance. You got your block on fight.
Well, ever since 1998, like I said, that's been one of my favorite albums of all time. And back then, I don't think Cash Money really realized what they got, because they got a free sample from Jay-Z. Now, as we all know, a verse from Jay-Z is probably going to cost you a couple $1 million, even for him just to entertain the idea. Now, back then, Jay-Z, he was starting off, he was trying to branch his brand out to the global platform, to a more national platform. So what better way to introduce yourself to the South than with Juvenile and also with UGK? Now, who would have thought Jigga would have became one of the biggest artists in the world, becoming one of the few billionaires that have come from hip-hop? So shout out to Jigga for carrying that hip-hop flag. And it's crazy to think that he started out sending out free verses to Cash Money and other artists just so he could grow his platform. Now, in a recent interview, Juvenile says how Jay-Z's verse helped propel 400 Degreez to the next level, but it wasn't the High song that took off for 400 Degreez. It was another song. Let's take a look at this clip as Juvenile explains.
You ain't lying, but I think not. You're right about that, but I really think the song that really made my album take off, start to take off on record sales, and you probably wouldn't believe it. It was "Follow Me Now."
When it's the plan, follow me now, you can wrong it on. Salute.
High came out, right? High was the first release. The album sales wasn't doing too great when High came out. So on comes this idea. I went back in the studio, so on comes this idea. Well, Jay-Z remixed the High, right?
You done fucked around with some wild niggas. You done fucked off the dough of Juvenile and Jigga.
So when Jay-Z said,
all right, so we said "Follow Me Now," the Carlos Santana sample was the song that took off. Now, they said that it took off in the Hispanic market, which made the black market listen, which put more ears on the High record, which made the album take off, and they had to re-release 400 Degreez with the "Follow Me Now" song and the Jay-Z feature on the High. Let's tune back in.
remixed to us, it was kind of unexpected. We didn't know he was going to do that anyway. He did it on his own. So the idea popped back then, wait, let's go back and put this Jay-Z song on the album, because Jay-Z wasn't on the album either originally. Like, we're going to put this Jay-Z version on the album, and once you record another song, so I recorded "Follow Me Now." Not knowing that it was a Carlos Santana sample, and not knowing that the record was already big before I said anything on it. It blew up. It blew up, but it blew up in the Latino community. So where it didn't look big at, it was big everywhere else. Like the album started selling like crazy all of a sudden. Then that's when they started realizing, wait, the Back That Ass Up record is the hottest song on the album, period. We need to take a chance with it, because that song had started taking off in the club just on its own. And so it was kind of like a no-brainer to make that a single. And that's when Back That Ass Up came out. That's when the sales just skyrocketed.
All right, so there you have it. Jay-Z sends a verse to Birdman and Juvenile without them asking. He just sent, he heard the song, thought it was a hot song, sent the verse down there. They were like, hey, we got this Jay-Z verse. We might as well throw it on the album. So they made their remix to Ha, threw that on there. The Follow Me Now song. Now, that's one of the songs I didn't expect them to say that really kicked off the album. I know the Ha song obviously backed that ass up. Those are the two biggest songs probably off of that album. But that album was full of jewels. But to think the Follow Me Now song really stepped up the album sales. Like I said, every song on 400 Degreez is a smash. I wish they would have came out with more videos. Juvie just came out with a video, the 400 Degreez single, 26 years later. So shout out to Juvie. He can still make some money off of this album. He needs to do the Welcome to the Know Ya song. He needs to do the Ghetto Children song. Make videos for all this. I don't know why rappers don't do that. When they have a classic album and the album has great songs on there that the world may not be privy to, or they're those album classics, that, you know, the ones that don't make the mainstream but they're hot songs on the album, they should come out with those years later and try to recapitalize and get some more money off of that, like what Juvenile did. I love what they did with that. I love what Birdman did and Juvenile did with that. The video was dope, so shout out to them for doing that and bringing back the memories from back in those days, those Cash Money eras. Nation, what do you think about Jay-Z's verse on the Ha song? What do you think about Jay-Z helping 400 Degreez go quadruple platinum? Where do you put 400 Degreez in the all-time South albums? Where would you put it in top hip-hop albums of all time? Nation, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Peace.
O'Shea and I been kicking it strong for a minute now. O'Shea doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. O'Shea is a professional model.
Attitude like a young O'Shea with an AK.
Okay, don't you tell these motherfuckers that my name is O'Shea.